Hi, Jim Ziegler, the Alpha Dog. 77 years old, 48 years in the car business. But before that, I was a radio broadcaster with WAPE Radio in Jacksonville, Florida. I was a nationally known DJ. Dr. X, a big time radio celebrity. And I was the promotions director for a legendary radio station, WAPE. After that, I went to work for WIVY FM and WVOJ Country. But somehow I got broke, divorced, angry, and ended up in the car business. I was just going to do this till I could get a respectable job. Went to work for the Coggin organization. This was kind of funny because it was a Datsun dealership owned by the Coggin organization. I was legendary. Nobody ever beat me in sales, ever. But all of a sudden, broke, divorced, angry, depressed, I jumped in a car and moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and went to work for McNamara Pontiac. And then I met my smoking hot trophy wife, Debbie, that we've been married 40 years. And sold her a car, actually laid her away. But at Banner Ford in Decatur, Georgia, I was the first F&I manager in the world, in universe, to do $1,000 a retail unit on Ford Motor Company cars, any cars. Then I was recruited by the Dyer & Dyer organization, Dyer & Dyer Volvo. We went from 40 units a month to 850 units a month in less than 2 years. We went from a little building to a Greyhound bus station that we remodeled as a car dealership. And I wasn't instrumental, I wasn't in charge, but I was instrumental as an F&I manager at Dyer & Dyer Volvo. Then I was recruited as the director at the Coggin organization. Our Cadillac dealership was doing 500 units a month in 1985. 1985, we were cranking out, 1984, 1985, we were cranking out 500 Cadillacs a month at unbelievable numbers. But then we sort of had a pay renegotiation, and I started Ziegler SuperSystems. This is when I became a consultant. This is when I became a trainer. This is when I started teaching other people how to do what I did. There's a lot of trainers in the car business today that are smoking hot criminals. I mean, I have never had to lie, cheat, sneak, deceive, or misrepresent to sell cars. I am squeaky honest. You can check me out, and never, ever did I have to lie, cheat, sneak, deceive, misrepresent to sell cars. And I taught it that way. There's a couple of criminals teaching the car business today, especially that character from Oklahoma. Check them out. Check me out. But anyway, as a record-setting manager, then I became a general sales manager, and I never was a general manager. But I also teach a professor course as an associate manager at Northwood University. I am an associate professor teaching general management and F&I management at Northwood University, the car college. Through the years, I've been at more than 15,000 automobile dealerships. I have physically stood in 15,000 showrooms. Some of those showrooms 4 and 5 times. I have been to every state except Alaska. 125,000 or more dealers, managers, and factory executives have attended my seminars since 1986. I teach F&I managers, sales management, salesperson, and internet marketing. I was not a record-setting salesman nationally, but I was a record-setting F&I manager. I was the first F&I manager in the world to do $1,000 a retail unit. I was with Dyer and Dyer Volvo, and I was one of 5 managers that all of a sudden we broke the $1 million barrier in 1984. We sold, I think, 1,074,000 in F&I. We were the first F&I manager to do $1 million at a single point, and I was instrumental. I was one of the managers that did that. And I've worked in more than 1,000 showrooms in 200 cities in 49 states. I was the featured opening keynote speaker for 98 state dealer conventions. Now, the opening keynote speaker, 98 state dealer associations. Not a speaker, but the opening speaker. And I was paid heavily for that. One of the few speakers that was paid to do that. I've also been a paid speaker for 5 AICPA conventions. And you say, well, Jim, how did you do 98 state dealer conventions? Well, New York Automotive Association, I spoke 5 times for that group, 4 or 5 times for Texas. And North Carolina, I did multiples for Washington, and I did a lot of seminars in Las Vegas for state dealer associations. So it wasn't all the same state, because many of the states called me back over and over again. Wisconsin, Minnesota. Oh my God, I spoke to Minnesota any number of times. So I was rated as the top, one of the top keynote speakers, opening speakers at 17 NADA conventions. I was more than 17 state dealer conventions. I was rated in the top seminars. I was the featured speaker for 3 AICPA conventions. I was the opening keynote speaker for 4 or 5 AICPA conventions. And more than 150,000 friends and followers on social media are on my keynote channels. I've got somewhere between 150,000 and 200 featured followers, people that are in my broadcasts, my Facebook, my LinkedIn, over 150,000 active followers, maybe 200,000. I was the big stage speaker for Digital Dealer, number 22. You know, Mike Roscoe and I and Cliff Richard and a couple other people, we founded Digital Dealer. Mike Roscoe did, but we were actually the driving force. So it was good. I was the keynote speaker for 4 Digital Dealer conventions, including the one on 22nd, which was the 5th one. I'm a widely read columnist in Digital Dealer magazine and 5 other magazines I've written for. I'm an award-winning magazine columnist. Been doing that for years. I'm the lead columnist right now for Digital Dealer, and I was the lead columnist for Ward's Digital Dealer magazine, and My God, I'm a prolific blogger. My internet battle plan events. I caught cancer in 2019, and I have it now. So 2019, I caught cancer. I caught esophageal cancer. Very few people have survived. I've survived 5 years, nearly 5 years, and it's back. So I'm cutting this video right now. But the truth of the matter is, I went from all of a sudden doing seminars, F&I seminars. We were getting 100 people a month in my sales manager and F&I seminar. Then we had to shift. 2018, I had, a lot of employees, but in 2008, when the economy crashed, we had up to 40 managers working for me. We were traveling all over the country, and the economy crashed, and we had to reinvent the business, restart again. So what I did, my wife Debbie and I, we started doing conferences. Digital Dealer Conference was doing well. Several other conferences were doing well. So we started the Internet Battle Plan. We did 28 Internet Battle Plan conferences. 20 speakers, 20 sponsors, upwards of 250 attendees, all paid. We were making incredible money. So then, that was 2008. In 2019, I was contracted with esophageal cancer. Or 2009, I got esophageal cancer. Very few people have survived. I was 9 hours in surgery with 2 surgeons, 14 days in intensive care. And all of a sudden, COVID hit in 2020. So we had to reinvent again after a successful seminar business. Internet Battle Plan, we were rocking and rolling. We were making more money than we had ever made, millions. And I've made millions as a car consultant, as a trainer, as a professional speaker. I'm a member of the National Speakers Association. I'm a CSP, Certified Speaking Professional, the highest rate you can earn in the National Speakers Association. I've been in the National Speakers Association since 1996. So we've been doing it a long time. I was awarded the Passion Award, the Autocon Award, and I've won numerous awards as a featured speaker in the car business. Lifetime Achievement Awards. I actually received the 2019 Edward Bobbitt Lifetime Award, the first one that was ever achieved. So I've won numerous Lifetime Achievement Awards, given to me by colleges, other events, national organizations. And I've been in the car business 48 years, almost 50. I've never had to lie, cheat, sneak, deceive, or misrepresent. I'm an Eagle Scout. I was a Red Cross certified safety instructor. I bench pressed 450 pounds most of my life. I could do a full squat with over 800 pounds. pounds. I was a competitive weightlifter. That's part of the reason I had all the back injuries as I grew up. So when you hear about people in the car business, whether I'm still here or not, I have set records in the car business, legitimate records. I've spoken at 17 NADA conventions, always in the top 10. So when you hear these people that are criminals, and there's a couple of them teaching car classes right now, certified bad people. And I can't believe dealers are hiring these people. But I've attended all the management seminars. I've studied my craft. I was a part-time instructor for the Dale Carnegie courses. I've studied my craft. I've done everything I need to do. You can read my resume and see what I've achieved. I'm a record-setting salesman in every dealership I ever worked for, although I was a world record-setting F&I manager. And for 77 years old, I've taught internet. I've done things on the internet that nobody has done. When you teach internet to young people when you're in your 70s, and this cancer is a little bit of a setback. But I'm still here right now, and I wanted to cut this video, and I want to put everything on YouTube so everybody can take a look at it. Thank you.